this space has contributed to so much of my life. At a very, very early age, actually right behind me, was my old wooden desk where I would do a bunch of weird science experiments. And then I slowly fizzled out of that phase of my life, and I discovered something that I love doing, is taking a camera and filming stuff. I used to film a lot of my old stuffed animals and stuff, making stories with them. And I wanted to take YouTube more seriously than just silly stuffed animals, because I knew in the long run it wasn't gonna work. And so then, in 2019, I finally created the Duke78 gaming channel, where I originally did a lot of Nintendo content and a bunch of other random hodgepodge stuff. And I think after a year or so, my dad got a monitor. There's another long story of how that monitor got to me in the first place. I set it up on that desk. I would usually sit in the beanbag in my own old videos, or sometimes a normal chair, and I would just play any kind of Nintendo game. I remember a lot of Splatoon 2 streams. Those were the good old times. I made a lot of memories during those streams. And after a couple of years with that wooden desk, I want to say 2021, 2022, me and my dad had a really cool idea of building a concrete desk. And it was a really, really fun process to do. You would have the mold for it, you pour in the concrete, put in the steel bars, whatever you call them, putting in all of the poles and stuff together to hold it up. It was really, really fun, and that's what really kickstarted my whole YouTube journey, was that desk. In this area, it would have been right here, you know. And then, I think it was maybe around Christmas time of 2022 where I got a PC for Christmas. I started making videos on the PC, doing horror stuff, because that's another thing that I started to love more. I watched a lot of Dad's games back then, and I realized, hey, I can totally do this horror stuff. This horror stuff is definitely for me. And was I right? Yes. A lot of my content took off. I know a couple of videos got 1,000 views. It really started to kick off, like, yes, horror gaming is a side for me, and that is really being successful, you know. And I kept on doing YouTube pretty much until now, which leaves us until now, where you're wondering, why am I talking about this and what's happening to this whole space? So let me shed some light of what's generally happening now in my life. As obviously now I'm in college, everything is getting redone. So this whole space is actually going to get complete walling. And the biggest news I have to break is this space is no longer the DukePlayz space. This is going to become the living room space. I'll show you guys in another clip where the DukePlayz space will be. It's in a little bit of a smaller area, but I know I can make it work. Plus it will be kind of nicer. Did my first 24-hour stream in here. You can't watch it because I didn't know that you had to have like a backup of it recording at the same time, so there's no way to watch it. And in that stream, actually, I didn't tell anyone about this. I finished it Tears of the Kingdom series. I am so sorry for that, because now no one can see that moment. Bro, that's like one of my biggest regrets, is that no one can see like how I reacted to the end of Tears of the Kingdom. It's such a saddening thought. It is what it is. I can't change what I did, you know. And I learned from it. That's the main point, you know. We all learn in life, and that's just something that everyone has to go through. But yeah, let me show you guys the new space though. So yeah, let me take you and show you guys what the new space will look like.
All right, so this is going to be my area right in here. It is, what I said, very much smaller than what it is going to be. But yeah, you can see the whole Peloton here is going to get moved. I don't know where we're actually going to put this. I'll end up putting my desk right over in here. And then, like, pretty much the green screen, I'll be able to put it, like, from there to there. No one's going to be walking in the way of the frame. You know, it's going to be a nice thought that we'll have some more peace and quiet in a little nook of the basement right in here.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I will be happy to answer anything, as long as it's not too personal. Like, what exactly is being renovated? You can ask me that, I can answer. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's kind of a life update. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And Captain Duke, we'll see you in the next one. Captain Duke out. Peace!